on this whole twin flame kind of experience and just my own journey. And also things I picked up. I think I saw somewhere that like one of the things that the masculine comes in to help the feminine with is for her to gain independence, or attain her independence or something like that. And then the feminine has her like her part in it too. And how it's seemed for me is that, oh shoot, now it's all running away from me. I would keep getting myself into situations where I didn't even realize I was like giving my power away. And I definitely woke up to it when I was in my relationship with my ex. I was like, he's just kind of like taking care of things, and like weird little things would happen where he would just like, he would set something up, like he set my phone up, and then it was like whenever I would go on live calls, it said John's iPhone, and it was weird stuff like that it was just like very like this possessive energy that I was like always whatever the reasons are, like it was like, but I was not taking not taking charge of my life in that way, and trusting the wrong people. And like with my mom, it's like I knew better than to like keep going over some like. So anyway, whatever, regardless, like that's where the masculine kind of comes in, and a lot of it's these very harsh triggers, but it's forcing her to have stronger and stronger boundaries. And like, okay, so I know what's the other thing that was coming to me is like Teddy's getting frustrated. He's been getting frustrated now. It's been a long day. I think that like I've been the savior before some too, but I tend to fall into the martyr archetype, and I think the masculine often falls into the savior archetype. And can you let me finish this, please? Okay. And so that's been a really like deep, like I don't know how to describe it, like like I tend to overgive or not make excuses for not making more time for myself in the mornings, or whatever it is that I need to do to keep myself in a higher vibration and keep my cup full. And that's not anybody else's job, and I'm aware, but I'll get myself into situations where I get resentful and I want to take it out on somebody or blame somebody when that's really completely my responsibility. And then the masculine, he sees his feminine struggling and wants to be, I've just seen that, I don't have a lot of evidence on this, I've just seen this pattern happen a few times, and it's like then he wants to like come in and rescue, like Nine of Cups, Nine of Swords or whatever, and like come in and save the day, but it's like he can't, because he's really just playing that role, and that's not really his place. What was the other, there was something else. Oh, I know another part, because I've struggled so much with not how do I say this, like not specifically money, like I don't like being able to make my own money. So it's not like I'm like showing up for service work expecting to get pay every time, or like it's not like it's a certain amount or something like that, but like even now my dad has been like this, it's been this like breadcrumbing, and it's been like this kind of like he's playing the savior and trying to like save the day, so there has been some balance, like and it's teaching me to be able to like to drop my pride and to allow help, and to put myself into more of a learning to be in a receptive state, and those challenges. However, it's like I'm trying to think of an example. So like whenever I do Kundalini yoga, like it's me and 2 or 3 other guys, there's this interesting like shift that always happens, and because if you're not already in your heart, it drops you in your heart pretty much. Like it's one of those things where it's just like it's just magical. And I always get this feeling of like we are individual. Like I am a like you almost like feel like your soul's connecting type of thing. It's like I'm not just a fit woman, and that to me is another thing that sort of a gift that you're supposed to be giving each other in this twin flame experience, because I don't know if I'm going to have union in this lifetime, and I've made my own money in the past, and yet I've been moving through and trying to heal all this scarcity. But that's a big part of me, is that it's not about a certain amount of money, but I do want to make my own money again. Like I'm a single woman. I don't want to be dependent on like that. It goes hand in hand, because it's like I don't want to be there's a self-sufficiency that you're trying to establish, you're trying to acquire, and it takes a lot of inner work and like work of like letting go of this sort of social construct of like what that means as a man and a woman. Because I also know a lot of feminines who have made buttloads of money, but it's like that's part of their legacy. It's not about a woman has to be, a man has to provide or whatever. Like it's breaking that down and not subscribing to those, because that's really, to me, is a lack mindset. It's like I'm still trying to figure out what my like where I fall in that, because I do love to be taken care of. I want to be in a receptive state. I want to be in my feminine. However, there's something about like I remember when my dad was helping me the first couple of times I was really grateful, but by the third time I think that we went and got groceries, I was like, I just want to be able to have my own money to go get groceries. Like, this is crazy. And it was one of those, like, I was like, I don't want to be ungrateful. Like, it's not that, but it's like, I should be making my own money. And so it's something about that where you're like you're like healing these things and balancing the energies back out. And there was something else too about like, oh, I know, because this is spinning all the time. What I've seen more is that it's not I think I said this on the last video, is that your twin it's more of like yin and yang. It's like fraternal, well, even fraternal twins can act a lot alike, but like it's more of like a yin and yang and a Shiva Shakti kind of energy where like, but it's even bigger than that, I think, where, like I said, you're creating union from these opposites. So it's like, I think that's why Spirit, and I haven't figured it all out, but like I kind of think that's why Spirit's showing me like my person when they were younger or something like that, because they want me to see what his experience was like or something. And because I think it's actually very different. Like, I think I grew up in a much more like privileged, like very sheltered, very like, what do they call it, like well, no, it wasn't like growing up in a glass house, because there were secrets and things brushed under the rug, but like it was like wanting to like spoil your kids, but not from like a loving place, like wanting them to be dependent on you for life. Like, my parents were maybe more codependent than they were narcissistic. I'm not really sure. I don't know, because I don't know enough about the psychology of all of that. But my mom seems, I don't know, there's a lot of similarities between the two anyway. But like, I mean, the fact that I got into a house, I was living with my dad, and then my dad's gone, but then I haven't been making my own money all this time, so I've been dependent financially on my parents. So it's like, that's a codependence. But I think the masculine had a much different experience growing up, where he was like, realized he was going to have to figure out things for himself because his parents weren't going to teach him, kind of thing. Whereas like for me, it was like, I know God, I met different women who had a very different like reality than my mom, who were much more independent. So I think there were things like that. And this is getting drawn out. I don't know, but I think there's something there, because I think it's like being able to like find compassion regardless of your differences, kind of. I think that's like the bigger picture of the whole thing, because you're such a clear mirror for each other that you trigger each other like crazy, but when you understand the story behind it or the reasoning behind it, then you can find that compassion, and then you can like bring this unity consciousness like to everything around you. Okay, there's a lot going on right here and I need to focus. Okay, yeah, that's it on that.